Hi, I'm Brian. This is my channel, BKXC, where I mountain bike the best trails in the world and try to inspire you to get out of the house and go ride. So I've probably put 1,000 miles on the gimbals that I have over the past year. I've used the FeiyuTech Wearable Gimbal, the Evo Ss, and the Zhiyun Rider-M. And I'm just gonna go through all my different experiences, what I like, what I don't like, what's happened, what's not happened, all that great stuff. Not very scientific, not very technical, just straight from the heart. So I think the first thing we should talk about is price, and I'm filming this January 2017. So prices change all the time, up and down, up and down. Your mileage may vary. The first gimbal I bought was the FeiyuTech Wearable Gimbal. It was about 300 bucks in April of 2016. Right now, it's 180 bucks. Not bad. I got a lot of use out of this thing. So this is the Zhiyun Rider-M. It's about 249 bucks. And this is the Evo Ss. It's about 330 bucks. A couple months ago, these two gimbals were about the same price on Amazon.com. And for all intents and purposes, they are the same gimbal. The Evo just licenses from Zhiyun. They put their own label on it. I've emailed with the Evo guys, and they say there's some beefed up PCB components in there. Maybe there are. I take them at their word. But for us normal folks, they're about the same. The difference is that when you have a problem with the Evo Ss, you can send it back to Oregon. They have 1 year limited warranty where they'll do the work, they'll get your gimbal back to you, as long as you didn't completely destroy it by doing something stupid. Zhiyun Tech is in China, and that is a tough thing to deal with. And I have had to send back a Zhiyun gimbal. The first one that they sent me didn't work. When I turned it on, it just kind of just fluttered around. So they wouldn't just send me a new one. I had to spend 60 bucks to send it back to China so they could send me a new one. I don't know. I wasn't a paying customer. They were going to send it to me so I could review it. But, you know, from the first time they contacted me, I think it was about May of 2016. And by the time I got a working Zhiyun gimbal, September, October or something, it was a no-go. This is the backup gimbal now because it just took so long to deal with. So there's a price difference here. $249, $330. What's it worth to you to be able to speak to someone in English, go back and forth, send something back that won't cost you an arm and a leg, that won't take a month to send there and a month to send back? It's up to you. So from now on, when I talk about the gimbal Shootout, I'm going to leave the Rider-M off the table and only talk about the Evo Ss, since technically they're about the same. And I encourage you to read every Amazon review you can look at, because you'll see that with a lot of these gimbals, especially the FeiyuTech, when I was first looking at the Amazon reviews, it was 50-50. Half of the reviews were like, it's junk, it doesn't work. And half of the reviews were like, yeah, it's pretty good, I love it, it's great. So you are pretty much rolling the dice on this, any way you slice it. Maybe not with the Evo. Maybe, you know, if you get a junk one, send it back. You're going to have a human being to interact with, to work with. So if you go cheap, you're going to get what you pay for. But that being said, I put a lot of miles on the FeiyuTech. A lot of miles. I have 2 of them. But after about 6 months of use, they both kind of started to get funky. And I can't have funkiness. They both eventually started to have the same problem where I'd be riding and I'd look down, because when I'm riding and filming, I'm constantly looking down and seeing where the gimbal's pointed. And they just have a hard time finding the right horizon. So like right now, it's like, you know, you're going along on the trail, you're moving, and it kind of slowly tries to find the proper horizon. And just eyeballing it right now, I can tell that the horizon is off. So I was in Salida with Alexander. I just kept riding and I kept looking down, I'm like, ugh, this is it. Can't do it anymore, Feiyu. Sorry, I gave you my best shot, but I cannot be constantly babysitting and worrying about if I'm getting the shot. Since I've moved to the Evo, that hasn't been a problem. So one of the great things about both gimbals is that you can move the camera into whatever position you want. So if I'm going to be on a gnarly downhill, I kind of try to point it down and go. So with the Feiyu, if I'm riding the bike, I can actually kind of reach down, move it into place. It has no problem. But with the Evo, if I'm riding my bike, I have a hell of a time. Like if it's just slightly moving around, it will not get set. I have to go pull over, stop the bike, and actually get my point set, and then ride. that sucks. I have to do it a lot. I'm in the groove, I'm riding. I just want to reach down, flip it, point, and keep going. The Feiyu has a very similar beeping pattern to the GoPro, which is very convenient. So you hold it to turn it on, you hear the beep. And it always kind of starts up in this mode if I'm wearing it on my chest like this. So you kind of have to put it in the position you want it to be. No big deal. Then when you turn it off, you hold it down, it gives you the triple beeps. That is very helpful when you're on the trail and you have run the batteries dry. So side note, both of these get about the same battery life. I go about 2 hours and then change. I don't go 2.5, I don't go 3, I go 2 hours and change the batteries. Don't let it run out on you. So if it does run out on you, in the Feiyu, you'll hear it. You'll hear it go beep, 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 and you'll be like, oh, triple beep, that's a problem. Just like if the GoPro runs out of batteries, you get a triple beep. Or if the GoPro runs out of space in the card, you get a triple beep. You know, I need to stop. The Evo does not beep when it turns on or it turns off. So I've been on the trail when I had batteries that weren't filled and looked down, and then the gimbal is just off, and the camera's pointed to the sky, and I just lost the last 2 minutes of footage. So pain in the butt. I don't like that. But one of the great things about the Evo is that they have the battery indicator light. So 4 blinks means that you've got a full battery. Anything less means you have less battery. So 1 blink per 25% of battery. So you can always kind of, when you're riding, kind of move your head to the side and see how many blinks of the light you've got, see how much battery you have. So as you guys know, I use the chesty when I do my videos, and one of the problems with the battery change on the Evo is that you have to take this whole thing off of the mount to get to the batteries. So you really have to stop, pull over, take out the batteries, swap them, go. That's all right. It's every 2 hours. And every 45 minutes, no matter what, I'm changing the battery on my GoPro as well. So there's always stopping when you're filming. So the Feiyu's a lot easier. You don't have to detach it from the mounts to get to the batteries. And as a side note, you can use either one of these mounts. You need to figure out what shot looks best for you. I usually use this if I'm using the Feiyu, but then the shot's a little too high. And then if I use this, the shot's a little is lower, which lower is better. Lower usually looks really good, but then the camera kind of bounces around a little more. So you got to do your own homework on that one. Both gimbals come with a little cable that plugs into the gimbal and then plugs into the GoPro, which allows you to run the GoPro off of the gimbal batteries. So it's always charging up the GoPro. It's okay. I don't actually use this because then you start sucking down this battery, and like I said before, the Evo runs out of batteries. You look down, it's dead because it's running off of the GoPro batteries. The GoPro takes up so much battery that it's not a great solution for me to have to change these batteries once an hour instead of change this once a ride and then change these a couple times a ride. So I don't do it. But if Feiyu, Zhiyun, or Evo are out there and listening, I know you are, please make it so that we can charge up the gimbal from this port, because that would be the ultimate solution. You plug this into the GoPro, then you have this on your chest. Then you could run some kind of cable to your backpack and have one of those Anker charging laptop batteries that would basically get me through an entire ride without ever having to mess with the damn batteries. But as of today, my life is all about batteries and worrying about batteries and worrying about which camera angle I've got. One of the cool little things with the Feiyu is that it comes with this carrying case, which is neat. It's nice, it's solid, but it's kind of a piece of crap. Like both of mine, the zippers have broke and I can't zip them up anymore. So it was a nice gesture, but it kind of sucks. The Rider-M comes with this little pouch that really would not offer that much protection if you're going to put it in your bag or travel with it. And the Evo Ss doesn't come with anything, but you could still use the box that it comes in to kind of protect it if you're going to travel. I think one of the greatest things about these gimbals is that it allows you to ride with the GoPro naked. That GoPro waterproof case was the worst thing that ever happened to mountain biking YouTube videos. That clicking in the background, it's just like it's underwater even though it's not underwater. I hate it. So when I saw that first Nate Hills video and the audio was just crystal clear. You could hear his tires just scraping down that Sedona red rock. It was amazing. It's great. A lot of people comment like, wait, you don't have a waterproof case? Oh, what happens if you crash? Well, I haven't broken any GoPros yet. I've crashed. I've had some dings. Life goes on. This is what I'm doing, so rock and roll.
Slipped it.
So I use this mic over, stick over, it's called. It's a piece of double-sided tape that kind of circles around the microphone, and then you put this little fuzzy thing on here, which is called a dead cat in the film industry, and that muffles pretty much all the wind noise. Yes, if it's 100-mile-an-hour winds, you're going to hear wind noise, but it kind of adds to it at that point instead of overtaking all the noise. It's definitely not a perfect fit. You've got this bar that holds the camera in place attached to the gimbal. You've got the double-sided tape and the dead cat thing here. It's kind of a mess, so I kind of leave these on here as long as I can before I have to switch to a new one and kind of finagle it and mess with it. But it's so worth it to get that great sound. So when you're in absolutely silent surroundings, you will hear the gimbal in the video. I'm going to do a little sound test here. I'm going to try to find the quietest room in my house. And listening right now, it's actually kind of loud in here, even though it doesn't seem like it. So I'm going to try to see if I can get a sound comparison to see the Evo running, just doing nothing, and the Feiyu running, just doing nothing, and see what kind of sounds we pick up. This is the FeiyuTech Sound Test. This is the Evo Ss Sound Test. And like I said before, this is the Hero 4 Black plus these gimbals. A lot of you guys have emailed me and said, hey, I've got the Hero 5. Hey, I've got the Hero 5 Session. And as far as I can tell, I haven't actually used them. I don't plan on using them yet because all the videos I've seen are not good. The Hero 5 it seems to be too heavy for the gimbals that claim that they can handle it, and it doesn't look like they can. And then the Hero 5 has those microphones, so it's like, hey, something's going on down here. I'm going to focus on this horrible gimbal noise instead of what's going on out here. So buyer beware for now. So personally, I wear the chesty as tight as I can and as low as I can. I use the Osprey Raptor 14 hydration pack. And I basically try to get this little strap tight and covering this a little bit, because just that little bit of cinching helps the videos for sure. So then you see this thing right here. You have to make sure that any kind of anything is out of the way. You can't have even like a slight little rub or it'll throw the video off. So there you go. I know a lot of you guys are curious about how I wear my gear, how it works. I think the FeiyuTech is a damn good gimbal. It worked for many months. It got funky. It can't find the horizon. Both of them are kind of acting strange, and you can't have your gimbals acting strange when this is your full-time job. Filming YouTube videos, mountain biking is my life. So I need trust. I need reliability. But for you guys that just want to go out on the weekend, mess around, record some videos, $180 for a FeiyuTech Wearable Gimbal, it's awesome. It will get you where you need to go. I recommend it. So if you want to be serious about this, I say go with the Evo Ss. I have put some serious miles on it. I trust it. It has been reliable. I've been using it full time since about October, and it's been pretty damn good. Hopefully that continues. I have no loyalty to any of this gear. The only loyalty I have is to you guys and to make the best videos I possibly can. So if tomorrow there's a better camera than GoPro, if there's a better gimbal than FeiyuTech or Evo Ss, if there's a better anything, I'm going to try it out, give it a go, see how it works. If it's reliable, if it comes out with better quality, I'm going to use it because that's really all that matters, is riding the best trails in the world, showing them to you guys, and getting you guys motivated to get out and ride. One of the things I didn't touch on in this video was the modes. There's all different modes that you can use. I don't use them, so I don't know anything about them. I don't care about them. I care about the mode where I ride my bike and it follows along and it gets the best picture I possibly can. So I made a big long list of pros and cons and all the points I wanted to hit. I feel like I've hit every single bullet point that was on my mind personally. I'm sure you guys have questions in the comments. Let me know. I'm sure I missed something. Happy to answer the questions. Fire away. But until then, thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you on the trail. Woo! Yeah! Living the dream, brother.